everyone, it's Daru. Today we're installing door trim and I'm going to show you how you can get perfectly tight miters. Let's do this. To get perfect mitered corners, you're going to need a combination square. You're going to want to back out this nut right here. And what we're looking for is a 1/4 inch right here. And that's going to give us a perfect 90-degree angle. I set it up along the door jamb and we're going to mark out with pencil here. So we mark out here. I also like to mark out in the center, and you can see there's a level here that's also indicating that this header was put in level, so that's good news. Do it the same on the other side. And every 12 inches, we'll continue down our door jamb just so we have a nice uniform edge. After we've marked both sides of our jambs, we are ready for trim. I usually cut the factory finish off because this usually gets dulled and looking not very nice. So I've done a nice clean cut here. And we're gonna put our trim on the floor. Now we're gonna go up top to get our measurement for our miters. You can see, we're just gonna zoom in here and see my mark here for my corner of my miter. Gonna line it up there. Now we are just gonna mark out where that is on our trim and draw out the angle of our cut. I'm just gonna do the same on the other side. And now we're gonna make those cuts. We're just gonna get our trim lined up here. Put the pressure so that it's towards the fence, holding down. If you've made your cut too big and you want to make it smaller, what we do is we push our trim into the saw blade. Now we're going to lift up, holding your trim against the fence. We're going to come down now. And there we have just a sliver removed, and that is looking good. That's a good cut. It is right along my pencil line. And I'll cut my other one and then we're good to go. Let's take this upstairs. You want to make sure that you are firing your nail perpendicular. So think like a T to your door jamb or your trim. Now, why we do this is if you fire your nail gun like this, that's gonna cause blowout. And blowout is when the nails go to the left and to the right when they shoot out of your door jamb. That happens because a brad nail has a chisel tip. It's at an angle, and when it meets resistance, that nail is gonna bend to the left or shoot out your door jamb, and we don't want that. You want to line up your trim with your marks in the corner of your header and down the side. I'm gonna shoot into the door jamb, just keeping it a couple inches away from the corner because it's prone to splitting. And I also know I have a stud here. You want to keep in mind where your studs are, but I want to put one here so that I don't have any movement on the side. And I'm just gonna fire another one in parallel to this nail. I'm making sure my nails are hitting the jamb and the stud all the way down the sides of our trim. Another thing too, you never want your hands really close to where you are firing in your brad nails. And always just double check. You don't want to have any movement in your door trim. We're just going to put our trim into position. We'll nail it in now. Now when it comes to measuring your header, I've pre-cut one side already at a 45. And I've just made it a few inches longer than my actual trim. And I'm going to put it into position here, lining up our miter, centered here. And now we're going to mark it here on this corner where we're going to do the miter cut. We've made our next cut. We're just going to fit it in place, make sure we like where that is. Then we're on to gluing our miters. Taking a gloved hand, I'm just going to spread out my glue with my finger. I want it well saturated and apply the rest of my wood glue into the corner. Why I'm doing this is I do not want to see my miters separate. And that actually is fairly common here where we are because we have a lot of temperature fluctuations. Now we're ready to install. We just want to line up our trim with our marks. With our nail in place, we're now going to clamp our miters with miter clamps. These are one of my favorite tools, and you're just going to take these, take it inside and pull these apart. And this is going to hold our miter together while the glue sets. With our miters clamped, I'll fire some brads into our header to secure our trim. You always want to make sure you give that a wipe, get rid of any of the glue before it dries. Make your doors look even better. Check out this video right here. It is super easy. I know you can do this one.